Hey, let's go. We call this Ryan Weathers Tuesday for the Yankee fans in the house. Thank you for joining us again this week. As tonight, we look at the middle infield rankings along with our weekly hot stove update as it appears, and Michael shed a few tears on this one. The Red Sox front office has broken the hearts of Red Sox Nation, Alex Bregman. But as we always do, we begin by asking you the question, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Interesting tidbit, the Red Sox have spent $0 on free agents this year. They've spent less than the can't get trademarked Sacramento, Las Vegas A's bullshit. You are looking live at our split studios. Sure. This is Fantasy Baseball Now. Episode 69, insert joke here, is here for our show, part of the Ball9.com podcast network. Howdy.
Episode 69, we promised that this will be a titillating event, and the climax will be phenomenal. So,
as it always is.
I am great. Thank you. Yes, the Red Sox have spent no money. The hot stove has heated up specifically since Saturday, honestly. Don't forget to smash the like button. Follow us at ball9.com, on the YouTube, on the YouTube, on the Twitter, on the Facebook. Google me if you want to. Don't do that. You won't watch anymore. But yeah, it's been finally. There's been a little something going on, and the Cubs are right in the middle of it.
Yes, they got Cabrera after we go off the air last week.
Yeah.
And they signed Breggy. News that broke at 11:37 p.m. And one of the two of us decided to use our text thread and woke the big man up in Massachusetts. And the poor guy couldn't get back to sleep. He was so upset.
I can't control. I can't control what Jameson makes me do. So
I told him you were away at a family thing, and there might have been some alcohol involved.
There was definitely some alcohol involved, but that doesn't stop me from that wouldn't have mattered anyway. I mean, that's pretty big news.
The news doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
I do think though, and we will do our third baseman last week. I mean, there is everything the Cubs did had fantasy implication, and I'm not 100% sure that Bregman's value doesn't drop a little bit going to Wrigley.
Yeah.
Welcome, a little bit going to Wrigley. Right-hand hitters in Wrigley, not. I mean, unless you're Dave Kingman or Sammy Sosa, unless you're chemically enhanced or just angry. Hello, big man. You don't get a bump going to Wrigley as a right-hand hitter. But the Cabrera for Cassie trade probably has more fantasy implication. And I haven't looked at if Cassie's ADP has increased. We're up to 302 drafts on NFBC. Cabrera stuff is electric. That's a great trade for the Cubs. They need him. I think he'll do well if he can stay healthy. Just like another guy we're going to talk about in a minute.
The interesting part about that Cubs, though, is now you're hearing Nico Horner possibly to the Giants. They're running on him and Brendan Donovan. Is that how do they get better? He slides Shaw over to second base. Okay. He's not Nico Horner, though.
No, and when we do our rankings, he's definitely not Nico Horner.
No, that's an interesting thing. I get why they got Bregman. He's a veteran guy.
The return for Shaw would be greater, I believe, than if they traded Horner. I mean, controllable years, all that other stuff that goes along with that, multi-position player, still young. They'd probably get a better return for Shaw, but I mean, I was under the impression they were cash strapped, and then they signed the guy that all of a sudden went back, according to some Red Sox fans who will remain nameless and might be attending this session as we speak. It was a big cheating Astro anyway, and it was never really liked in Boston. So
the word I got from the big man in Massachusetts was that Bregman wanted a no trade clause, and the Boston said no. And I don't know if that was the difference or it was the guaranteed or whatever, but
who knows? He did get a no trade clause.
But it's
maybe that was it. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. Maybe he wants to sign one deal, play it out, and then decide if that's going to be the end of his career. He is an interestingly weird dude anyway.
He's a cheater. But the other thing with Boston is the other guy, the other third baseman they were linked to throughout the offseason was Arenado, and he's now a Diamondback. Though Suarez is still available.
Yeah, which makes, I mean, and that has interesting fantasy implications as well, because now Nolan Gorman apparently is going to play every day, probably at third base. I don't know why they would think about trading Brendan Donovan other than they don't care. I mean, hopefully it revitalizes Arenado to go to a team that actually might give a rat's ass about winning a baseball game as
St.
opposed
Louis
to
is eating most of that contract. Like 30 of the 42, I believe I read something like that.
So does that mean Marte stays? And if Marte stays, then I guess they think Jordan Lawler sucks. I mean, I guess they've just run out of patience with Jordan Lawler. They traded McCarty as Colorado stockpiles middling, underperforming to their level of prospect outfielders by getting Jake McCarty. I mean, so now they got another outfielder that's supposed to be great that's never been great. They can add him to everybody in their outfield except for Mickey Moniak, and we'll see about him. I mean, the Yankees get Ryan Weathers just before we came on, which was, I mean, they give up a scat of prospects, which is shocking to me that Brian Cashman actually traded anybody in the top 30 prospects. And he traded, the 15, 16, 23, and another infielder, wow. all hitters, which tells you everything you need to know about Miami and making these trades, because they're so loaded with starting pitching. And now Snelling gets a bump, and he'll start to get some love in drafts. They've got other pitchers. Myers is still floating around there. He's been in and out of the rotation a little bit and injured. I mean, they just traded 2/5 of their starting rotation, and Sandy Alcantara's not any of them, which is shocking.
Hey, let me ask you, did Cashman just put himself in a box by wishing Bellinger well and kind of closing the door? Is that a negotiation, or what else are they going to do? Who else is out there? The Mets apparently have offered Kyle Tucker $50 million. The Yankees aren't going
on a short-term deal.
3 years.
3 years, $50 million AAV. What a desperation fucking move that is. Talk about a desperation move. I mean, that's a desperation move because the Blue Jays offered him a big deal and it wasn't 3 years. And I loved Bellinger as a Yankee. He is not worth 7 years at a $35 million AAV.
He's not. He's not. He's a nice player, but he's a really good player. He's an all-star player.
He's a really good player, and he's a really good player in Yankee Stadium. He's really, really good. He's really good, but you can't just at some point. And I get it. It's the Yankees. I get it. We're the New York Yankees. I'd rather trade Spencer Jones and Jason Dominguez for somebody that's already on a contract that's as good as either of those two guys, if they're available. I mean, I'd rather move Spencer Jones to Cleveland for Stephen Kwan if they wanted to do that than tie up Bellinger's contract could easily be a Jacoby Ellsbury contract in a heartbeat. And I get Kyle Tucker. He's the only player besides Soto with a 1-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, but he's hurt. And he's prone to big slumps. He was booed in Chicago last year. And Chicago could have given him the money instead of Bregman and brought Tucker back, and they chose to go in a different direction. So it's
Yeah.
just, no pitchers have signed yet, none, which is shocking, surprising.
Speaking of that, why would the Tigers bother with a $19 million offer to Scuba before arbitration? Why piss him off? Like, why?
Well, look at, the Tigers are have a long history and have been around for a long, long time. And they haven't been in the record books in a long time. So they figured they'd take a shot by setting the record for the largest gap in offer versus ask in arbitration history. 19 to 32 tells you how far apart they are.
But that's not even reasonable.
I don't know what game they're playing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what game they're playing. I really don't. I don't know why they're doing it.
Intentionally trying to create the wedge. I don't know.
It makes no sense with the young offense that they have and the prospects that are coming that are offensive prospects, that they don't just say, screw it. Like, what do you want? You want 7 at 40? You got it. Just get it over with and just be done with it instead of dragging this out and leaving the door open and always being in this. And I get you're in the Central and you think you can win anytime you want to, though that changed dramatically today with the Royals announcing they're moving the fences in 10 feet everywhere, dimensionally 10 feet everywhere, and lowering the fences.
Yep.
Give Vinny Pasquantino a bump in the first base rankings. Rethink your Salvador Perez ranking. You don't have to rethink Bobby Witt because Bobby Witt's Bobby Witt, but it's just crazy. It's just crazy that the Tigers are even walking down this road with, not to me, but probably the best pitcher in baseball. To me, it's Skeens, but you could flip them one way or the other. It doesn't really make any difference, and put Crochet in there. When you account for age, you can just put those three together and say, pay them all.
Yep.
People show up to see them play. The Red Sox don't really have that attendance problem, but Pittsburgh and Detroit do. And Screwball did it in the postseason, which is, so it's, you know what I mean? It's not like we're talking about Hall of Fame, regular season Hall of Fame, first ballot, no doubt about it, Clayton Kershaw, who has a checkered postseason history. We're talking about a guy that's at the start of his career is, probably in the top 5 starters in Tiger history, and in a postseason he showed up big time.
Yes, big time.
And you think you're going to be there for a while with the team you have assembled, and then you're just going to let that guy, you're going to mess around with that guy?
That's crazy.
Doesn't make any sense.
Crazy.
Doesn't make it, but it's Detroit, so you know what? Screw them. How about that?
All right.
How about you mentioned the team without a logo, and I didn't know. I think we talked about it just like I brought it up last week for a couple seconds, but I didn't know the last dive bar is who trademarked those, which is as ultimate a trolling job as there is.
The story is they noticed that it had not been trademarked by the athletics organizations, so
good work
themselves. That's beautiful.
That's good work. It's good work.
Good for them. Good for them.
And they're going to change your name to the Las Vegas Ass Shakers to fit into the, and then they'll be the A's, and they'll find a way around it. It'd be even better if they trademarked the colors. Like not only can't you use the names, but you can't be green, gold, and white. You got to be like every other Vegas team, pewter and black.
And on the clock for the NFL.
As with Robert Saleh as your front runner.
No, he's not going to be their coach. My God, no. No, Dan Graziano predicted that on ESPN. I'm like, are you insane? They're going to go offensive, a young offensive mind to go with.
Yeah, like Cliff Kingsbury.
No, yeah, the guy just got fired in Washington.
I just read that story that he's also Brady loves him.
No, they had a big falling out 2 years ago. The Raiders were going to hire him, and he went to Washington to coach Jaden Daniels, as he should have. Jaden Daniels or Gardner Minshew. Duh. That didn't end well.
Yeah, Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, so I like Aiden O'Connell. He's a good backup. He's an okay backup, but
not as good as Billy Zappi, my new quarterback.
Right. Well, we'll get to college football picks at the end, right?
Yeah, I'm not happy about that at all, but yeah.
All right, second base rankings.
I will tell you, the second base is a little bit deeper than I thought it was, than I expected it to be, and it is and it isn't, right? So because this is our top 10. Your Lennon Sosa selection surprised me more than a little bit.
I put the midget down because I can't stand him. I like Sosa. I had him last year. He's a nice player.
Well, we're both down a little bit. We're both down a little bit on Altuve, and not having Jordan there, though he wasn't there last year either. So it doesn't really. I mean, what difference does it make? But
I mean, there's a couple guys. Okay, now you don't have the guy. Wow, you have Brandon Lau that low. That's interesting.
Well, because I've got Luke Cashel and you don't.
Okay. The guy I want to talk about is not on either one of our lists. Why Bryson Stott just seems like the enigma of the position. You're the Philly guy. What's his deal? Why isn't he better?
They need to trade him.
He'll steal some bases. I don't know.
I mean, he's coming in. His ADP is 193.
Okay.
I mean, and Lau is 174. So he's kind of in that group with Lau. I mean, Xavier Edwards qualifies at second base, though you wouldn't take him there. You'd probably lean for him. I mean, maybe you would if he's eligible, because when we get to shortstop, that's so deep.
16 deep.
I mean, Raphael is eligible at second base, which is great. I think he's going to end up playing center field full time because they're going to have to find room for Marcelo Mayer and.
No, third base is open.
Well, that's true too. Third base is open. I mean, maybe they move Story to third. The reason I rank Jazz over Marte, the only reason I rank Jazz over Marte is because of stolen bases. And it's probably the only reason that Bryce Terang is at 61. I mean, it's a pretty big drop off in the early season. In the head-to-head draft, second baseman flew off the board in short order because it's so iffy after the first couple, probably after the first three, and Horner to some extent. I mean, we're flip-flopped at 1 and 2. We've got 3, 4, and 5 the same. We're both a little down on Altuve. You've got Albies 10.
I have Albies 10, though. I'm not sure why. I think we talked about him a lot last year. He's never going to reach the potential that people put on him. I would probably, in an open draft, take Polanco over him. But Albies.
Yeah.
You know what? He had.
I mean, they got Raphael at 10. With the exception of Cashel and Sosa, I mean, we're pretty close all the way around. You've got Lau
Yeah.
higher, but they're all about the same guy. Honestly, like they all do some stuff well enough to be considered. I mean, I probably in middle infield, you're going to lean toward the pool of shortstops. I mean, it's the here's the ones that surprise me a little bit. I mean, Marcus Simeon at 252. That surprises me a little bit. Brandon Donovan at 308.
Yeah.
That surprises me. That surprises me a lot, frankly. I mean, Jeff McNeil's at 560. Like Matt McClain is the guy. Matt McClain is the guy that I can't remember who wrote as a potential breakout on CBS.
You've heard that for 5 years with Matt McClain.
2023 was unbelievable. 2024 he was hurt. 2025 he flat out was unrosterable. And once you rostered him, you were waiting for 2023 Matt McClain because I did that and it never happened.
Yeah.
It just never happened. And the Reds need him to be 2023 Matt McClain in the worst possible way, but I mean, so undisciplined as a hitter that maybe this is what he is. Like he had a nice start to his career, and then the league saw enough tape on him to be like, oh, we know how to get this guy out. Don't throw strikes. He's going to swing at him.
Yeah.
And that doesn't help in fantasy. I mean, playing every day is great. Playing every day is great. And in Roto, you get counting stats. But if the counting stats are weak for a guy that plays every day, I'd rather have Luis Garcia than Matt McClain, to be brutally honest.
I think I had every second baseman in baseball last year at some point on my roster.
I do feel though, yeah, I agree with that. I had them all too until I was able to move Jazz. I mean,
it was never ending.
I do feel as though it's a little bit deeper this year. It's a little bit deeper this year. Like, I mean, if you don't get the top three, the next 7 for both of us, you'd be okay with. And in a 12-team league, I mean, you could do worse than Otto Lopez. You could do worse. I mean, Stott. I mean, he probably needs a change of scenery. He forgot how to hit left
bases. I mean,
he forgot how to hit left-hand hitter. Like he forgot how to hit lefties.
I mean, Gleyber Torres isn't a disaster.
No, Gleyber Torres is consistent. You know what the problem with Gleyber Torres is? He's not what everybody thought he was going to be when he was traded from the Cubs. Well, Major League Baseball has a 150-year history of guys that weren't as good as everybody thought they were going to be when they came up. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But he's good. He's a good player. And he plays. You know, he rarely gets hurt. So I mean, you can take out of second base with no other option, 260 to 275 with 20 homers, 75 runs, 75 RBIs, and 8 or 10 steals. I mean, if you're in a pinch, it's better than hoping Matt McClain gets a hit this week. Right? I mean, it really is. And it's part of the strategy is it's not if you can stomach middle and consistency, consistent, middle production in a couple of positions, as opposed to I'm waiting for the big hit from these guys, you're far better off. I mean, I had Matt McClain in my lineup for a long time last year, and he destroyed me.
Now we're both kind of banking on this is the year Jackson Holiday breaks through.
He had a pretty good year last year.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
He's got power protection in the lineup this year with Alonso. I mean, the offense isn't a problem in Baltimore. The offense is not the problem in Baltimore. And he had a pretty consistent year. He didn't have he had a probably a little better first half than second half, but he had a pretty consistent year last year. Like, he didn't have long slumps. He wasn't on these big giant tears. I mean, he had a pretty, for a rookie year, as young as he is. He had a pretty good year last year. I mean, I guess we probably both feel that at some point Altuve is going to drop off the planet, but I thought that last year. That's not the case, and so far, nobody else does either. I mean, that's still. So you got second round, third round, fifth round with Terang, and then you go to now it's like starting with Horner, you're like eighth round in an open draft.
Yeah, you wait.
And I mean, Horner, Altuve, eighth-ish round. I mean, Holiday, Cashel, Rafaela 10th. And then you're okay. Now it's 12, 13, 4. I'm like, I didn't get any of these guys. I'm just going to wait on second base and take what I get.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're in a 12-team league and 10 guys have second base.
Yeah. And I mean, even with middle infield
at that point,
I mean, Marcus Semien is not really getting a lot of love. Beatty, I mean, they got a problem, despite the fact that they just offered Tucker $50 million. They can't trade Vientos because I don't know what they want for him, but apparently it's a lot. Beatty's probably a better second baseman than a third baseman. They traded they traded away another second baseman. They signed Polanco, who's really a second baseman, but apparently he's going to play first, and they got Semien. So you know what you got when it's just like an NFL quarterback. You know what you got when you got three quarterbacks? You got none. You know what you got when you got three second basemen? You got none.
True.
So, I mean, the DH spot helps a little bit, but Semien's still an elite defensive second baseman. Even if he doesn't hit, he's still as good a fielding second baseman as there is in the game. And with that pitching staff, they're going to need it.
There, you ready to move to shortstop?
Yeah, I am ready to move to shortstop.
It's the deepest position you've ever seen.
It's crazy. And so clearly you have an mission. Because to not have Zachary Neto in your top 10.
Yeah, he's 11. He's 11.
And that's egregious, frankly.
He's 11. I hate
Jacob Wilson is the Luis Ariz of shortstop. He shouldn't be in the top 15.
If you take Jacob Wilson the 5 weeks when they let him play with a broken arm because they don't pay anybody to be their medical trainers because they can't read a freaking x-ray.
Yeah.
You take that 5-week injury and the 3 they let him play with it. You take those stats out, and he was a 330 hitter.
Yeah, with no homers, no RBIs, and no stolen bases. He's Luis Ariz at shortstop.
No. He's going to break out. This is a big year for him. I do like Neto a lot. The guy that I have at 10 is CJ Abrams, and I don't know if I draft him because you got to be willing to deal with, I don't know, is it aggravation or disappointment, but he's not what you think he's going to be.
Except for he still gives you 25, 75, and 50 stolen bases or 40 stolen bases. I don't know. I mean, like ADP. I mean, Witt at 3.27, not shocking at all because I would expect most drafts are Ohtani and Judge in some order, and then Witt 3. But Witt's gone as high as 1. Like Witt's been a first pick, and Ellie De La Cruz has been taken as high as 3
Wow.
in 303 drafts, and I can't see a world where Ellie De La Cruz goes 3, though I think he's going to have a massive year this year.
He was my vote last year when we said pick one guy under 25 to start your team with your fantasy team. He was my
He was
pick.
hurt a lot last year, and who knows? I mean, I got to see another year from. Trevor Story had an unbelievable year. It was him or
Yeah.
Seager at 10 for me. He had an unbelievable year. I got to see another year of it. I like Perdomo just because. I mean, last year was the next step in.
He drove in 100, scored 98, and stole 27 bags, hit 290, and 20 homers. Oh,
yeah. I mean, it's hard to not take him.
No.
I mean, the reason Lindor makes me laugh and the reason I laugh at this Weathers trade is somebody posted the other day of Lindor's value since he was traded from Cleveland compared to everybody he was traded for. And those were supposedly the Mets' best prospects at the time. Not so much.
Hey, do me a favor, by the way. I know this is going off topic. Get that sack shit off the graphics. OAK, SAC, SAC. Get OAK up there, please. Thank
They're
you.
not in Oakland. They play in Sacramento.
They're Oakland.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're Vegas or Sacramento or just the A's.
Call them the A's then. Get that sack shit off.
Nah, I like Sacramento better.
No, that's horse shit.
Anyway. So neither of us have the number 10 ADP shortstop on our list. And that's Jeremy Pena.
Yes. We don't have Willie Adames, 30 homers. Big second half last year.
We don't have Bo Bichette. Swanson. I mean, Jacob Wilson's number 16. And he's going in about the same round as Xavier Edwards. So, I mean, and for me, the guy to watch is two guys to watch for me. One is Colson Montgomery.
Yeah, he was my next name, I was going to say. And
then I'm all in on Connor Griffin.
So that's 17. And if you throw in X Edwards, that's 18.
Yeah, I mean, Griffin's at 23, and his ADP's been going up. And he's at 255, and he's ahead of Correa, Hae-Seong Kim, Mason Wynn. I mean, he's ahead of those guys.
So here's the question for
Kevin McGonigal in Detroit's another guy to watch. Weatherholt. I mean, they're both at like 320-ish. Volpe's at 432.
That's because he sucks.
But Anthony Volpe's at 432.
He shouldn't be that high.
He's behind Brooks Lee.
He sucks.
He's not good. JP Crawford's at 522.
Thank God they don't put in fielding metrics for Volpe. He'd be 9999.
I mean, Volpe's at 432. Jose Caballero's at 229. Like, I'll tell you, in a league where you've got a middle infielder, 40 to 70 stolen bases isn't a bad thing to have on your team.
Here's a question for you for shortstop. Because I'm putting together these rankings. I have Gunnar Henderson as a Team Pugsley member. And I say to myself, what if I tried to trade him for an elite outfielder, an elite starter, knowing that it's not Las Vegas, big man. Go back to your hugging your Bregman snugly. Your bobblehead,
big man. It's Las Vegas or Sacramento. It ain't Oakland.
Your breggy bobblehead. Is it worth looking into trade one of those guys for something else at a lesser position?
The only there's 1.5 guys on this list I wouldn't consider trading.
Yep.
I wouldn't trade Witt, especially in a dynasty league. I wouldn't even consider it. And I'd have to get a substantial offer for Dela Cruz. Though Lindor would make me have to think twice too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's the fourth most valuable fantasy player in the last 4 years, behind Judge, Ohtani, and Soto.
Are my eyes getting really bad, or is my screen all of a sudden super blurry?
Your eyes are getting really bad.
Oh, okay. Well, they are.
It's probably you're probably misty eyed over the thought that I didn't rank Jacob Arias as one of my shortstops.
It could be a result of Grateful Dead tribute day at the offices of 518 Bookkeeping too. Who knows? Who knows?
Could be. It could be.
Rest in peace, Bob Weir.
Tony Collins come in and try to sell you a peanut butter sandwich. Oh my God. Holy cow.
So tell everybody about Zachary Neto. I didn't rank him in my top 10, but you love him.
I do. I do. I mean, I don't know how you don't. I don't know how you don't. I mean, in 2024, he was 23 homers, 30 stolen bases, 70 runs, 77 RBIs, and 542 at bats. 2025, he was 26 homers, 26 stolen bases, 82 runs, 62 RBIs, and 502 at bats. And he wasn't even. He didn't play for the first about month. He hit 257.
Yeah, he only had 502 at bats.
I mean, he strikes out a little bit more than you'd like him to, but I mean, I'll take a 30-30 shortstop every day if I can get one.
Yep.
And he has to play every day. I mean, there's not a choice. I mean, Abrams' last 2 years. This is what makes you crazy. You get 246 in 2024, 257 in 2025. He stole 31 bases in both years. He drove in 65 and then 60 last year. 19 homers last year, 20 the year before. 92 runs last year, 79 the year before, and he had about the same amount of at-bats. He had 39 less at-bats in 2024, and that's probably when they sent him home because he couldn't stay out of the casino.
Yep.
Which is right down the street from the ballpark. So, you know. I mean, he strikes out a little more than. I mean, he's a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk guy too. I mean, is this a year? I mean, I do love Trey Turner, and I've taken him early in 2 early drafts that I've done. But is this the year that Trey Turner starts to decline? It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't drive in a ton. Home runs are below average when you look at the rest of the group.
But 88 runs, 88 runs scored in 24, 94 last year. 36 stolen bases. That's not a bad number.
No, it's not bad at all. 304.
300.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the allure. That's the allure with Witt, Dela Cruz, and Lindor is you can get 30 homers, and Henderson is you can get 30 homers out of any of those guys.
Yeah.
I don't feel like Mookie obviously from us based on how we ranked him. I don't feel like Mookie's getting as much love as he should get.
You know why? Because he wasn't very good until but when he caught fire last year,
the second half of the year he was tremendous. this.
Yeah, so you start to ask about his father time catching up to him, but he turned that around. I think he disproved that in the second half. That's why I have him ranked where I do.
But he went much higher in. He was ranked much higher last year, off a year where he hit 289 with 16 steals, 19 homers, 75 RBIs, and 75 runs scored. And he had a bad year last year. And he had 95 runs scored, 20 homers, 82 RBIs, only 8 steals, and hit 258. I think the 258 is the thing that makes everybody like, is this it for Mookie?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't discount that guy one bit. I still think he should be playing in the outfield, and they should get a shortstop. It'd help his career. And maybe playing shortstop last year hurt him in the first half.
Maybe.
And he wasn't hitting a fastball in the first half. So why don't I probably know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyway. You not ranking Corey Seager, is that injury related?
It's all injury related. He was the topic of conversation this morning with the big man. Yeah, if you go by stats, or you got to put him in there, but you have to look. One injury doesn't mean you're going to get hurt every year, but when you see a pattern, it's enough to say, do I want to deal with it? Look, Trevor Story's a good example. He was healthy last year. Look at the numbers he put up. Right? So when Seager stays healthy, he's dominant, but he's never healthy. So the flip side of that is, if you have a guy like Seager, as long as he doesn't get hurt like on a Monday night after your lineup's lock and you go without the stats for the week, if you're not in a daily league, then you do have somebody that can come in and back him up. You got to merge those stats and see where you're at the end of the year, your quantitative stats for the position, but he drives you nuts with those injuries. So that's the only reason he's not in my top 10.
Yeah, and the only reason I ranked him is he's got to be healthy once. Someday he's got to have more than 380 at bats.
I mean, he's elite when he's healthy, but when he's actually playing, I shouldn't say when he's healthy, because he always gets hurt. Some guys just get that tag. That's become Mike Trout the last X number of years. He always gets hurt now.
Yeah, my like the bigger, yeah, that's a huge concern. And then then the Gunnar Henderson concern is, yes, he did have 50 less at bats, but he went from 37 homers to 17 last year.
He did. You got to remember, though, he started the year, he was injured. I think he missed the first week or so, week and a half, maybe.
Yeah, at least.
Okay, so he missed some time early, and I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because I just traded for him. Maybe it took him a little time to get going. But, the RBIs were down too, but he drove himself in less 20 times versus 2024. Yeah. So that explains that. Even if 37 homers in 24, 17 last year, split the difference, give me 27 with 30 steals.
You'll be all right.
Batting average, I can live with that.
And I know the only reason that everybody pauses on Dela Cruz is he went from 67 to 37 stolen bases, but his batting average, homers, RBIs, and runs were all almost identical to the year before, when we were all saying under 25 player, that's the guy you got to have.
Yeah.
And that's probably just a byproduct of Francona saying you'll run when I tell you to, not when you feel like it.
Yeah.
His slug was down a little bit, but his on-base percentage and average were almost identical. And he drove in 10 more runs, and he still scored 102 runs. They just need more help in that lineup.
Yes, they do.
He hit everywhere. He had to. He was a golden bat guy. So who signs Bo Bichette? He did have a meeting with the Mattinglys here in Philadelphia this week. A virtual meeting.
Where do they play him if they sign? Do they move Stott?
They'll trade Stott.
What about Bohm?
They do anything in the world to trade Bohm. They can't find anybody to take him. I think in a perfect world for them, they'd trade Bohm and sign Gino. And they trade but the problem with trading Bohm is they're going to make people take Castellanos too.
Okay.
Maybe they can't find a trade partner that they like for Castellanos, and they literally called everybody. He's linked to the Giants a little bit. I think they're trying to get him to take Bohm too, but where does Bohm play? He's not playing third. He's not a better fielder than Matt Chapman. He's not playing first.
No.
He's not playing first in Philly, though they have chirped about moving Harper back to the outfield. Especially if they can't find, they're not going to have Max Kepler for 80 games if they re-sign him.
That just goes to show you that the steroids don't necessarily help you.
First fucking player in the history of Major League Baseball to get an 80-game PED suspension, and his stats were worse than the year before.
Yeah, right.
Like, are you kidding me? Come on, Max.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough.
I'm a little shocked on this list you didn't have Xander Bogaerts.
No.
I know you're a big fan.
Yeah, he has absolutely no fantasy value. Zero.
It's another untradeable player.
Zero fantasy value.
They want to trade him. They can't trade him. I don't know. There's a lot. Despite the fact that Tucker gets a $50 million offer and there's been a little bit more movement this week, it's still kind of slow for a month away from showing up in Florida.
Yeah.
And I don't think this list changes in any way. I didn't notice in the last couple of days if Swanson got a little bit of a bump since they signed Bregman. A little bit of a bump, but not much. He's still at 145. He had a pretty good year last year too. He hit 244. That's what he hits.
Yeah.
But 24 homers and 77 RBIs and 20 stolen bases and 184 runs ain't bad. And he plays every day. So middle infield, when you have to take a middle infielder, you're clearly going to dig into shortstop for that second middle infielder before you even think about some of these second basemen who, the 20th shortstop is probably as good as the 10th second baseman from a fantasy standpoint. Shortstop 20 is Otto Lopez.
We talk about the depth. If you go to the CBS rankings from last year, 14 shortstops ranked on the top 73 players in fantasy for CBS.
Right.
That doesn't include Corey Seager, who was 175 because he only had 380 at bats. That's a staggering number because most leagues don't even have that many teams.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That means that your utility player, instead of having Mike Yastrzemski, you're going to have
Michael Conforto.
Yeah, I don't know where that came. I don't know how. I don't remember who posted that, but nope.
No, because I drafted him last year as my fucking DH fourth outfielder, and he was ass. Oh yeah,
I had him 5 different times in my NL only league because there was nobody else to get, and I would have been better off just having an open spot.
vacant.
Just leave an injured guy in my lineup, and the stats would have been almost the same.
No, you're like Norman Dale, Hickory High. My team's on the floor.
Exactly.
I'm playing 4.
Okay. Okay, coach.
How's that for a segue? Speaking of Indiana.
For fuck's sake.
The soon-to-be Raider quarterback, Fernando Mendoza. I'll tell you, this game's going to be some big boy football going on. Physical on both sides.
It's either going to be 20-17 or 60-10. If it's 20-17, Miami's going to win. If it's 60-10, Indiana's going to win. I'm already a little tired of Kurt Signetti. I'm already a little tired of him, but they're a good football team.
Kurt Signetti, he would look good in Vegas.
It wouldn't work.
No,
it wouldn't work. College is a perfect place for him, like Patina. Have guys for a short period of time. Hello, Robert. Have guys for a short period of time when they're going to play the way that you tell them to, and they're going to do everything that you tell them to, versus, pro players it don't work like that.
No.
With professional, but it doesn't work like that.
I know. I want Mike LaFleur from the Rams. That's my guy.
You want Mike LaFleur?
Yeah.
Maybe you can have Zach Wilson as your quarterback, and then they can have a reunion of those two nitwits.
I read the combo today. LaFleur's going to come in from the Rams. Sean.
Yeah, he's going to be Salah's offensive coordinator. It's going to work out perfectly for you.
No, Salah's not getting that job. My God, they're not going to go defense again.
I want somebody not the Pittsburgh Steelers to hire Mike McDaniel.
He'll be an OC next year,
wearing his culottes on the sideline.
Oh, that'll go over well, and it'd be great in Pittsburgh.
It'd be great in Cleveland. He'd be a perfect fit. That goofy fuck. He'd be perfect in Cleveland. Perfect. Stefanski's going to get the Baltimore job, and he's going to go into Cleveland with a real quarterback and whip their ass, and he's going to just look up at the owner's box and go, "See, if you got me a quarterback, this is what you get."
Yep. What about the Jets? Oh, they're keeping Glenn. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah, now with Tomlin, I wonder what the compensation would be. I don't want to see it.
Tomorrow's the decision day for Dante Moore.
As somebody they just signed Raiola, so he must have already told him.
Raiola's camp said they're willing to redshirt.
I'd like Dante Moore at 2, not to play next year, but to play when he's ready to play.
Yep.
If I was Dante Moore, I'd stay.
I wouldn't. I blasted Todd McShay during the week for if you're projected to be the second pick of the draft, you go.
It's not because of that.
You go because you don't know what next year is going to bring. One, you're going to have Arch Manning in the draft, and he's going to go first because his last name is Manning. You're not going to improve. You're not going to get better. And the quarterback class really can't be any worse than it is this year. This is the time to get paid. Yes, he can go get an NIL money for one more year, or 2, actually, because he's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
But you got to think long term. You got to think about the pro quarterback contract.
I'm trying to find who had the list of quarterbacks that have been drafted since 2013
with less than 20 starts.
And the only one of them that was, Tannehill was okay. Cam Newton's the only one that came into the NFL and did anything.
Yeah, I've always said that's why I liked down the stretch. It was like I want Mendoza over Moore because of the reps. The reps matter in quarterbacks, and that's a valid point. Maybe that's why you should
look at the 3 guys. Look at the 3 guys that are tearing it up. I mean, Jaden Daniels was hurt, but Caleb Williams, and Drake May played a lot of football in college.
Yeah.
A lot. A lot. Bo Nix played a lot of football in college. Bo Nix played the most football in college. He's got more starts than any quarterback in college football history.
Yeah.
So, but that matters.
It matters. Reps are everything with quarterbacks.
That's why I'm not I'm not big on Ty Simpson. I mean, and that's why you want to take Carson Beck in the 5th round, then
Ty Simpson is Mac Jones. The thing with Dante Moore is this, though. You can't necessarily blame him for that performance last week, because if there's anything you can bank on, when Oregon plays a physical football team, they get their
Yeah, I mean, they played Ohio State pretty well in the regular season. They played Indiana pretty well in the regular season, but like not with 2 weeks to prepare.
No.
I mean, physical teams beat
them. It's substance over style. That's football. So you can't blame Dante Moore for what happened to him the other night, because Indiana was just way too physical for him.
Yeah.
That's why people are saying, well, he should go back to school. Well, he had one bad game. Yeah, granted, it was in the CFP semifinals, but nobody was saying
with the whole world watching who was going to be the first or second pick.
But nobody was saying it before that game. So don't hold that on him, because they couldn't protect him. That's not his fault.
No, you can't take one game. I mean, even though it's a huge game, you can't take one game. You can't take one game. You can't. And you can't take one game against. Now the chirping on Indiana is there. Are they now what's wrong with college football?
What's wrong about Indiana? A bunch of 3-star, 2- and 3-star recruits, and
that were really good players on a bunch of other teams, and he went out and he recruited in the transfer portal to build an all-star team. I don't buy that. I don't buy that, because you still got to go there.
Yep.
And you still got to deal with him. I mean, he definitely was paying attention when he was working for Saban, because there's no bullshit going on in Indiana.
Yeah.
And he's done a good enough job to make them go from being the losingest team in college football history to the second losingest team in college football history in 2 short years. And that takes a lot. And when you're the losingest team in college football history and you had a pretty good lead, and then to erase that in 2 years, that's a pretty good job.
It is pretty good.
And then Mark Cuban just gave him $1 million.
Yep.
Added $1 million to their transfer money. So, I mean, it's one of the largest alumni groups in the United States, and there's some pretty significant alumni in Indiana. And if he's going to be there, and this is what it's going to look like for football, they're going to have the money to go get whoever they want.
Yeah. All right.
And you know, Miami's in the same boat, but I mean, Miami's defense is very, very good. It really is very good, and they're crazy physical. But if Ruben Bain doesn't make some kind of major impact like he did against Ohio State, I think it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, we'll see. I think they can hang. I think it's going to be physical, but and Miami's Carson Beck's got to be error free.
Yeah, and he never is. That's his whole career. He never has been.
Yeah,
but he does make enough plays to win football games, and that's also a big thing, right? And just as an aside, we're 4 weeks into this thing now. Can you people from Notre Dame shut the fuck up, please? Please.
You said please.
You're not beating either of these teams. You already lost to one of them.
Yep.
And the other one in a championship would kick your ass and laugh all the time they're doing it. And then drag you around the entire state and make sure everybody knew who the king of Indiana was. Stop. You're not in. You can't tell me you would have beaten anybody in a bowl game because you went home.
Yep.
Stop whining. Just stop. It's over. It's done. You're done. Stop.
Well said.
Enough.
From the guy that grew up in a Notre Dame household. Well said.
Not me. That wasn't me. Sorry, Bob. Sorry about that, Bob. Can't help myself.
Next week, what are our positions next week?
Next week, we are third base, which should take about 4 minutes. Good God. And outfield, and we'll do 20 outfielders next week.
All right.
And that will be interesting, to say the least.
We will
after the first two, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how we rank guys.
and for those following at home, we're trying not to jump our evenings as best we can. Work commitments do get in the way sometimes, so we're going to shoot for Tuesday or Wednesday next week.
Yeah, one of those 2 days. And if you don't like it, tough shit. This is what we got going on.
It goes, man.
And if you're not watching, then you don't care anyway. And you're missing great content.
Sure. All right.
I mean, only here would you know that.
Did I lose you?
No, you Mel Allen interrupted us.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm sure it was quality.
It was quality. You know, Ryan Weathers, David Weathers connection. I mean, it's nice. It's nice feel-good story.
Absolutely. All right.
He'd be the number one starter in Sacramento.
Oakland.
Vegas. Peace.
We're out.